So now we'll be talking on tetanus, the disease tetanus. And Mr. Taylor is going to run us again through this. He's going to give us his insight on this disease. So we'll start by you telling us what tetanus is all about. What is tetanus?
Okay. And brief, tetanus, otherwise known as lockjaw, is a serious disease caused by the bacterial infection of Clostridium tetani. That's what they call the bacteria, Clostridium tetani. That affects the nervous system. What does it cause? It goes to the nervous system and causes stiffness or spasms or muscle contractions. And in severe stages, it leads to suffocations or difficulty in breathing, and maybe fatal to death. Yes. So this infection can be gotten from the soil, contaminated equipment, from a gunshot wound, from burns, from injuries with infected instruments or equipment like the needle, knives, nails.
So he has told us what causes tetanus. He mentioned the name of the bacteria here. So I want to say that at least we know the cause. I want to get down to the risk factors. I want to get to the real business side of it. Or before we even go to the risk factors, maybe the signs and symptoms. Let's talk about that one first. What are the signs and symptoms of tetanus?
The signs and symptoms of tetanus are spasm, which is muscle contraction, because the toxins of the spores of this bacteria, which enter a body through contaminated or infected equipment, burns, gunshot wounds, one affect the neurons, the nervous system. So it's like an upset. It makes it act involuntarily. So it causes spasms, stiffness of the body. And if not managed early, it can be fatal. You can have difficulty breathing until death. So we also have difficulty swallowing. We also have loud noise. You start being sensitive to loud noise. You see, someone can just fall into a fit. You can have a seizure or just from shouting. Someone else is shouting, a neighbor shouting, a friend shouting, a relative shouting, reprimanding him or her. From light, powerful light, like in the house, sunlight. So those guys are always sensitive to lights. Also have other sub signs like fever. I say sub signs because they don't really happen that often. They'll have fever because an infection. Because fever will also cause sweating, elevated blood pressure. We have rapid heart rate. As I also say, palpitation, the rapid heart rate. And then stiffness and pain in the abdominal muscles. In essence, also it causes lockjaw. Lockjaw means it's a stiffness of the particularly the jaw, the muscles of the jaw. Yes, the head, the jaw. So it causes you to take this stance, this posture. Mostly affect the children. So they are just stuck there like a demonic attack. That's why it's good to prevent tetanus. We have to take it tactically as early as now. Yes, child falls into the fit seizure, or if there's nobody there, child may die. Yes, it goes very severe and very dangerous. Yes, tetanus. So we need to prevent it and manage it as early as possible. Those are the symptoms.
Okay, well, thank you very much for those that insight on symptoms. So we're going to move to talking about the risk factors, which I think is also it should be similar, but I think they're different. So what are the risk factors? What can put us at risk of having this bacterial infection?
Yeah, the simple but very notable risk factor is not being vaccinated. Yes, okay. It's like risk factor of not having malaria is not sleeping on a mosquito tent or rubbing your anti-paludism. Yes, rub or spray in the house. You put you at risk of getting it because there are many formalities, or say many conformations of this vaccine. You have the VAT, we have the TT vaccines, we have the DPT. So if you don't take these things, you don't permit your child or recommend another person to get it, your children to get it, you put them at risk of getting it. You have an injury with a nail, a splinter, or rusted equipment from this injury. These nails must be contaminated, or these splinters, these needles, these blades contaminated or infected, if I may say. Yes, we have gunshot wounds because some of these guns are mundane and archaic. Some of these gone the bullets there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might have slept in places in some environment which are very unclean.
bad.
Yeah, very infected. Get those infections, shoot somebody. Some of us, and due of this economic crisis, people are making sure that they would go for traditional methods to remove the bullets. When they go to the hospital, they're taking some antibiotics, which will prevent some of these infections. We have compound fractures around. You maybe go and step on a nail, you go say, I'm going to fry an underleg with oil. People have fried their legs with oil and are still having tetanus till the end of their life. So we have to prevent these things. Don't go bombing oil, knife in oil and putting your leg and say you are preventing infection. Because tetanus will pass that barrier of that oil. I don't know what they're thinking. But, mentality plays a big role with it. So we also have injections from infected injections. You may come as a health personnel, you come and meet a used syringe because if the families are complaining that they don't want to buy syringe, they say anyhow, if it's here, maybe they have not done something else, maybe they are not using for kind of procedure you go and use. You are putting a person at risk of getting infection, severe infection, especially tetanus, lifelong. Animal insect bites, and for the baby, infected umbilical stones in newborns. Yes, very important because that's what will give the baby the DPT as one of the vaccines in the immunization calendar. We give them for them because if that umbilical stump is infected, baby can develop tetanus. That way, recommend that every day in the morning or maybe in the evening, the mother cleans the surrounding of the umbilical stump with a cotton or gauze soaked in alcohol, 70% alcohol, diluted to clean the surrounding of the stump. Yes, prevent infection. Then bathe the baby regularly. Yes, and I would say restrain the baby from or the child from playing around dirty stuff that you may deem it not free from any infections. Yeah. Those are the risk factors.
Okay, thank you very much for that risk factors. A very interesting talk so far. I've talked about what tetanus is all about, what causes tetanus, the very deadly bacteria. I've talked about risk factors and signs and symptoms you can see from somebody that has tetanus. Very classical symptom of lockjaw, which he talked about. And we'll move to complications. I think you have some complications lined up for us.
Yeah. So if you are ever opportune, for me it's an unfortunate event, but I'll just say fortunate to witness this attack of tetanus, you will not want to have tetanus or any of the releases of tetanus because if the person takes a very unpleasant posture. Yeah. So the person, all the muscles are just stuck somewhere. There's a spasm, there's a stiffness, and these manifestations can be so severe in a way it can cause the spine to breaking of the bones, spine bones, and cause paralysis. Wow. Yeah, that's a big complication because when you take that position, nobody can hold you back. You can't hold the person by restraining the person. Yeah, just involuntary. Yeah, so you can person a risk is spine breaking complication, and also causes a blockage in the artery of the lungs. So there'll be a blood clot that will cause a blockage in the artery of the lungs, which will lead to ischemia of the lungs. Yeah, so there will not be oxygenation and perfusion of the lungs, which will lead to infection and a lot of things. A person may die of that. Get into shock and die. We also have death from respiratory failure in the sense that spasm will cause difficulty breathing, difficulty swallowing. This next thing is death. It will be fatal. But if you stay without breathing or receive limited supply of oxygen for a long time, you die. The body cannot survive those conditions. They're very unfavorable.
Those are very bad complications.
Very,
which
very
you don't want. Breathing difficulties. In fact, those are complications which you don't want to have. Talk about tetanus. How deadly is that disease? That is terrible, and people still neglect it. For what it seems, it's deadly.
And the another thing is that it is lifelong. When you get it to the end. Yeah. So now we have a management, not the cure management. So you just take you go to hospital, they put you on a penicillin treatment, which should just help to reduce the multiplication and the growth of the bacteria. So you reduce your seizures, the amount of seizures you have, because it tells it's not just a seizure. Yeah, so, but you will not totally treat you of it or cure you of it. So it's good to prevent it. Prevent it.
Okay, so I plead that we take these notes to prevent tetanus.
Prevent
And
it.
that is where our next point comes now into place. Prevention of tetanus. How do we prevent tetanus?
Before I delve into prevention, I will talk about what prevention is all about, because prevention is all about keeping safe. But now, in this case, it's about vaccine, and there's a lot of myths. There's a lot of antagonism over vaccines. People have come up with a lot of theories. I don't know, conspiracy theories over these things. I don't know, but I would say I'll answer one of your questions. People, many question that how long have they tested? Have they tried? Have they studied a vaccine? A vaccine, especially like coronavirus. But for this, I assure you, they have taken years of study with the adult population, with the children, especially the children population, the child population, the adolescent. There's a lot of study, and it's proving 70% efficient against tetanus, preventing tetanus. That's a whole lot in this world. It's a whole lot. Yes, 70%. Especially for the children. Because tetanus is everywhere. Contaminated soil, go walk in the farm, you leave your child playing around the compound. There are many things. You come and live in a place where maybe 100 people have lived there over the years. They have thrown broken bottles, thrown broken rusted nails, child place around, get contaminated. You go now. Some of us too are very unhygienic. You come and keep the child, just change your baby's clothes or the child's clothes, and the child goes to sleep. The child has to bathe. Hygiene is very important. Bathe the child morning, evening. If the child is dirty now, you bathe the child, you change his clothes. Yes. Then now we go to the vaccine. People have paid for these things. These things are free. What do we want again? If they say we should pay for a vaccine, like maybe the typhoid vaccine, that one many of us are not taking the vaccine. Many people are here because you pay for it. But now we are giving free. We now doubt the I don't know, the cardoness or the bonus status of the vaccine. What's the problem? It's free. It's a national immunization program paid by big organizations like the WHO, the UNICEF, our government, rich fellows around the world. Benevolent people have paid these things, so we should benefit from it. Go get it, like the DPT. DPT stands for diphtheria, pertussis, and tetanus, which that vaccine protects against diphtheria, which are respiratory infection, pertussis, whooping cough, tetanus, which is an infection that causes lockjaw, spasm, a seizure. So we get this. The children get it in the national immunization program from 0 to about 2 years. So for the DPT, they take it with a frequency of 2 months. By 2 months, they get the vaccine, get it at the 4th month, they get it at the 6th month, and the 15th to the 18th month. Wow, the child is protected. They had a lot of booster doses. Yes. Okay, we also have the VAT. The VAT is given for women of childbearing ages, because these women, the infection may travel from the mother to the child. So we give women of child, the hospital, the health centers, I will administer to women of childbearing ages for free. From those, and that ages can be estimated from 14 or 15 to about 49 years old, because people give birth at 45, 48, 9 years old. And one thing to note, we men can get it. We men can be vaccinated. We need to be vaccinated of tetanus. Yes, because we are a vital part of family planning. Yeah, so we need to get ourselves vaccinated. So I advise you guys out there, fellow males, go get yourself vaccinated by VAT. It's the frequency of VAT is you take it at 0 months. After 1 month, you go and get the second dose, which protects you for a couple of months. After 6 months, you go and get the third dose, which protects you for 3 years. After 1 year from the initial dose, you go and get the 4th dose, which protects you for 5 years. And after 1 year again from the 4th dose, you get another 5th dose, which is the last dose, which protects you for 10 years and more. Not even enumerate this. Go put say, okay, I have to read. Just go and take all your complete dose.
Take all your
Take your
complete
complete 5
dose,
dose and get your lifetime protection.
Yeah.
Yes, a lifetime protection for him. Don't go and get the 4 dose until you have 10 years of protection. Just get your 5th dose and have your lifetime of protection.
Wow.
Yes,
That's
very important. Then we also have now the TT vaccine, tetanus toxoid vaccine.
okay.
Those you even you are thinking about, you can still go and get those ones. You are picking maybe your child will got your DPT, you got your VAT, but if you have been injured by a nail, a blade, rusted nail, walks the farm, you feel injured somehow, I don't know the cause, you know what happened, go get your TS within 48 hours after the injury. 48 hours, go get your tetanus toxoid vaccine, which should protect you against having the tetanus infection. So those are the things. There are 3 different forms. You have the VAT, you have the TT vaccine, which is tetanus toxoid, you have the DPT. All these are for you to protect you against tetanus.
That's a lot of prevention.
A lot just for you.
And that's beautiful. That's nice. I hope we have seen reason to go and take tetanus vaccine. Take our children for vaccination. Take you yourself, the adult of childbearing age, man or woman, go and get yourself vaccination with VAT for free. That's the funniest thing, for free. So we thank you very much, Mr. Tori, for this detailed talk on tetanus. As we are closing, we are saying goodbye to the viewers. We want to give you the opportunity to say 1 or 2 take-home messages on which you want the viewers to keep to heart. As they go back to doing their daily activities. What can you say on that?
So for tetanus, we the African society, we in the Cameroon society, they say our economy is 60% backed by agriculture. So we are so much in the field, so much in the ground, we are cultivating, we are planting. Then we are always around within our gardens. We are so exposed, the whole community, the whole world is so exposed to these things, the precursors of this tetanus. So our advice that go get your vaccine. Vaccinate your child. You as an adult, vaccinate your child. You the mother or you woman of childbearing age, get your VAT. You the husband, a man, a male, go get your VAT. When you are being injured, go and get the TT vaccine, the tetanus toxoid vaccine. Don't go frying your leg with red oil, my brother. You can still get the tetanus. I know a friend who told me that when the mother was injured sometime, she went and used oil and fried the whole soul of her feet. After some months, they discovered that tetanus. Until now, she's suffering with the seizure. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's so disheartening. It's so I don't know, bewildering. People are still so much in the dark ages, so much uncognizant of these things. So I'll advise you go get your vaccine, vaccinate yourself. Yes, clean your environment. Whatever you deal with, be sensitive and be cautious. Whatever you deal with dirty environment, your surroundings that you're not aware of, be careful not to injure yourself because you do not get the vaccine. As I'm poor, I always I so stigmatized towards vaccine. So reduce the opportunity of you going to get the vaccine by being cautious. Yes.
Okay, so we thank Mr. Thierry very much for his health tip today. Hisham Health Tips appreciate you for making the stop today. Thank you very much. We are hoping, of course, to have you on subsequent sessions in future.
It's always a pleasure being here. I would love to give out some information to the public and expect feedback because I don't want to go to the Bible, but somewhere in the Bible it said that as iron sharpen iron, just as friends sharpen the countenance or improve the countenance of his friend. So we improve each other, we get better. We know something better than us, give us the feedback and tell us how we can make it better about Hisham Health Tips because we are out there for the community. He's out there for the community. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Thierry. We thank Hisham Health Tips team for this setup, and we hope that this health talk today has helped you or your family member or your child or your neighbor or your uncle, your auntie, anybody in this way, even somebody on the street, tell the person something. Just remind the person that go for your part, my brother. I've been taking VAT.
Yeah.
When you close from church, as you are saying peace be with you, say peace be with you, my sister. You don't take VAT.
You don't take VAT.
Very important. Just tell somebody like that,
Forget about the stigmas of vaccine.
Yes.
This one has been tried and tested. If it doesn't have a problem,
That's it. So let's go for our VAT. It is free. Free. That's the thing that is, and it is free. What do we want again? It is free, tested, and very, very
vetted by experts around the world. So please go get your vaccine.
That is it. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time on Hisham Health Tips.
Thank you. Goodbye.